All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Math is Easy Step by Step. So I wanted to pick up here again. I had explained everything I copied down, then the negative 2 plus or minus square root of 4. Now I multiplied that negative 4 times the 5. That gave me the negative 20. And then I just rewrote the 5, all divided by 2 times 5. So remember, in these videos, you can stop, pause, rewind, watch as often as you need. If I'm confusing you or if I'm going too fast, please take your time. And then again, towards the end, I'll explain and share with you how you can practice these and get better and better and better. Trust me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. All right. So moving on to the next step. Oops. We follow the order of operations. Are there any parentheses here? Yes. The radical is considered a parenthesis. Are there any parentheses inside the parenthesis or radical? There's a parenthesis around the 5, but there's nothing I can do with that. Okay, so next are exponents. Are there any exponents inside the radical? No. Can I multiply or divide? Yes, I can multiply a negative 20 times 5 inside the parenthesis or the radical. So that's all I'm going to do. And then everything else, the minus, the negative 2, plus and minus, square root of 4, divided by 2 times 5. I'm just going to rewrite all that good stuff. And so negative 20 times 5 is a negative 100. And again, everything else I just rewrote. All right. Again, inside the parentheses. You were using PEMDAS, order of operations. Other parentheses? Well, there's a radical, and that's considered a parenthesis. Is there anything inside the parenthesis I can do? Yes. I can subtract 4 minus 100, or 4 plus a negative 100. Okay? And everything else I'm going to rewrite. X equals the negative times the negative 2 plus or minus the square root, all divided by 2 times 5. And of course, 4 plus a negative 100 is a negative 96. That's all I'm going to put in there. Everything else, again, I just rewrite. I rewrite it. As you can see here, the only thing I did was what's inside the radical. Now we continue. Order of operation, PEMDAS. Are there parentheses? Yeah, there's a radical here. Can I simplify this term inside the radical? I can. And this where it gets a little bit complicated. You need to understand a negative value inside a radical is not allowed. But mathematicians have found a way and a mean to get rid of that negative inside the radical by placing a I, or what's called invisible number. It's an I right outside that radical, and that negative will disappear. Okay, let me just show you that here. I'm going to raise this up. Again, you can stop, pause, rewind as much as you like with these videos. So just as I had said, you're not allowed to have a negative number value inside of a radical. So you remove the negative and place it outside the radical as an imaginary number. It's called I. Right? So we're going to get rid of the negative, and we're just going to put an I right outside that radical, and that takes care of the negative. I'm going to continue to simplify following order of operations after I do that. But here, I want you to take a look. All I've done is remove the negative inside, and I put an I on the outside. Everything else you see here has just been copied down. I just rewrite it in my next step. And again, I'm going to follow the order of operations. Parentheses. Well, I have a radical. That's considered a parentheses. Can I simplify or reduce what's inside that radical? Yes, I can. And that's what I'm going to do in my next step. And in my part 4 video, because I do not want to rush through this. Okay, so I'm going to move this up forward so you can see it. Now, because 96 is not a perfect square, 5 times 5 is 25. That's a perfect square. 25 is a perfect square, right? 4 times 4 is 16. That's a perfect square. 96 is not a perfect square. And in my answer options, A, B, C, D, and E, there is not a decimal answer option. So what does that mean? That means I have to manually simplify the square root of 96. And in my part 4 video, most of that video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So again, there'll be multiple videos for this answer on how to answer this problem, but that's okay. I'm going to go step by step. I'm going to go very slowly in showing you how to answer these problems, this particular problem. And remember, math is easy, step by step. Thank you for joining me. If these videos have helped you, please help me bring them to others by liking, following, and sharing these videos. I got a lot more goodies coming up for you in the future. So hopefully you like these videos. Hopefully they're helping you answer questions on these exams. And hopefully you can share them with some friends or colleagues that you know that may need the assistance. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in part 4.